I'm your host Prateik. So let's start with the C++ frequently asked question. So today's first question is, what are objects? When we talk about the objects are some identifiable entity with some characteristics and behavior. That means object should have total three things. It is an identifiable, it should be identifiable, it should have some characteristics, and it should contain some behavior. That means anything that is identifiable, have some characteristics and can behave are known as objects. We can say we are having a particular matter, that is pen. The pen is for that cylindrical shaped thing, we call that particular thing a pen. That means this is an identifiable, and another thing is that it should be having some characteristics. The characteristics for that is it is having a refill, it has some tip. So the behavior of our pen is that it led us to write. So the basic thing that all the objects should have identifiable, behavior and characteristics. So the next question is, what is class? When you talk about the class is a collection of similar type of objects. We can say class is a collection of some data members and member function. So all the things that contain some data members and member functions are known as classes. Okay, class is a blueprint of our object. Class is a blueprint of our object. That means according to the class, the objects are made. We can say we are having a class car. So this particular thing is car. The group is car. Okay, and for this group we are having the different objects, that is I-10, I-20, we can say Honda City, Verna. All these particular things are objects. That means for a group, we can say car. The basic characteristics of car is, when we define a thing car, that means this particular thing allow us to sit, that is its behavior. And this thing is having total 4 wheels, we can say this is having total 4 wheels, and all the characteristics of these are copied in all its object. That means when we talk about either I-10, I-20, or we can say Verna, Honda City, all the things are having that all the 4 wheels, they let us to sit and all. So the basic thing that class is a blueprint of our object. So the next question is, what are data members? When you talk about the data members, see that data and members, that means data are the raw figures and the members are the member of something. When we talk about the class is made up of two things, that is data members and member function. That means a thing that is it is a place where all our data are saved. Data members are the variables. These are the set of variables in which classes data are saved. Okay. So the next question is, what are member functions? Member functions are the things. These are some functions which are defined within the class of which are defined within a class. So the functions which are defined within the class is known as member function of that particular class. Next question is, what are attributes of classes? When we talk about the attributes are we can say attributes are something of which another thing is composed of. That means attribute of class is composed of what? Class is composed of two things. That means that is data members and member function. So the attributes of class are data members and member functions. Okay. Next question is, what is data abstraction? When we talk about the data abstraction means hiding the essential features without including the background details. That means hiding the essential features of our data without including the background details. Okay. See, next question is, define data encapsulation. Data encapsulation is the process of wrapping up of data and function into a single unit. That means binding up of data members and member function into a single thing is known as data encapsulation. Next, move to the topic, that is, what is inheritance? When you talk about the inheritance is the process of sharing between the two classes, or we can say sharing among the two or more classes of their characteristics and behavior. That means their data members and member functions are known as inheritance. Okay. So the next thing is, what is base class? So the base class is a base class is a class which allow the member function and data members of its own to inherit it allows the inheritance by other. That means a class which provide its details to the other is known as base class. So the next thing is, what is derived class? When we talk about the derived class is the class which accepts the data of some another class. That means derived class is a class which accepts the data of base class. So the next question is, what is polymorphism? When you talk about the polymorphism is a word which is made up of two things, poly and morphism. Poly means many and morphism means process. So the polymorphism is a process of representing a message in more than one form. The polymorphism, poly means we can say many, and the morphism means multiple form. So the polymorphism is the process of defining a message in more than one form. Next question is, what is access specifier? Access specifier is the thing which allow the accessibility of our we can say data members and all the things. The access specifiers are some keywords. These are some words which allow the accessibility of our function. The basic access specifiers are public, private and protected. So that's all about this tutorial. Thank you. Thanks a lot.